this thing about a gun. I didn't know anything about it, but turns out that when he made my application to purchase a gun, what happened was I guess you get asked, I don't guess, you get asked the question, are you on drugs, you use drugs? He said no. And he wrote about saying no in his book. So I have great confidence in my son. I love him, and he's on the straight and narrow, and he has been for a couple of years now, and I'm just so proud of him.
President Biden defending his son Hunter Biden over reports that he could soon face criminal charges for illegally purchasing a firearm, lying to investigators, and also, of course, tax crimes because of all of the influence peddling. The foreign lobbying and making false statements. One report says that these charges could be imminent. That was the Washington Post reported that. Joining me right now is former U.S. Acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker. Matt, thanks very much for being here. When does this become a national security issue in your view? The fact that this family has taken in tens of millions of dollars from officials tied to the Chinese Communist Party, officials in Ukraine, and in Russia, among others.
Well, it's good to be with you this morning. It's already a national security issue, and it has been for years. I mean, ever since Joe Biden was done being the vice president and Hunter appeared to be, kind of running an operation to line Joe Biden's pockets with money from China and the Ukraine and other places, to your point. And so, this continues to, I think, dog the president. Obviously, it's his son. He loves him. There's no doubt about that. You can see the heartbreak in his visuals from that video. But at the same time, Hunter Biden has been the poster child for the two-tiered system of justice. And I think the American people are expecting something to happen. It probably should have happened a year or two ago when the laptop first surfaced and the FBI had this evidence. But, I guess, this is justice delayed, but maybe it's not justice denied ultimately.
Well, just to be clear, there are emails that we have that this family is lobbying overseas officials while Joe Biden was vice president. So this did not just start after Joe Biden left the vice president's office, okay? Because, yesterday we showed an email. Here's, the email that they're talking about who gets what from the CEFC partnership, 10% equity held by H for the big guy. That's May of 2017. But if you go back to 2015 and 16, when the beginning of this relationship with CEFC happened, Joe Biden was a sitting vice president. Mike, jump in here.
Yeah, at what point does this go beyond the level of influence peddling? So Hunter Biden launches a private equity firm to be funded solely by the Chinese bank, Chinese National Bank, and he has no track record in private equity. And not only does he have no track record in private equity, he has such a drug problem that all his teeth rotted out from his crack addiction. All right. How does a guy like that get $1 billion as a sole investor from the CIC, and then all of a sudden, right after, China militarizes the South China Sea? At what point does this go beyond influence peddling and to selling out the interests of the United States for $40 or $50 million for your family?
Which would be treason.
Yes.
Yeah, this is public corruption at its worst. And, you're absolutely right. It does date back to when Joe Biden was vice president. We have the visits to the White House, several times from associates and Hunter himself. And so, this is one of those things that ultimately the question I think that needs to be asked of this U.S. attorney who's making this decision, and I've made those decisions as a U.S. attorney, is, how many of these crimes can you prove? And, how far do you take this case? And unfortunately, based on these reports that we're seeing in the Washington Post and other outlets, it does not appear that this U.S. attorney has much curiosity to get to the bottom of what Mike was pointing out. Some of this real bad, public corruption is being really kind of nice. I mean, this is like some of the worst possible things where, Hunter appears to be selling access to his dad and his dad's name, and it's really needs to be accounted for.
And the whole time the FBI knows about it, the FBI is aware of it, and they're covering up. They hated Donald Trump so much that they cover up potential treason. Now we've got this reveal, Special Counsel John Durham revealing that the FBI offered to pay ex-British spy Christopher Steele $1 million to corroborate allegations made in the now debunked dossier, Matt. I mean, look, you've covered this so much. Your reaction to this and the ongoing trial now of Igor Danchenko, who was the subsource of the dossier, who had a 3-day interview in January of 2017 with the FBI. And he told them at that time, no, the dossier was made up. We were embellishing. We were having beers with friends and laughing about it.
Maria, it goes to your first point, which is they wanted to get Donald Trump so badly that they were willing to pay $1 million to corroborate the Steele dossier. And, this trial is all about how they could never corroborate it. And, I think it's kudos to John Durham for actually telling this story through these various trials, but especially the Danchenko trial. I think, as this case lays out, you're going to see how desperate the FBI was to prove these allegations because they wanted it to be true. And in fact, they wanted it to be true so much that they put it in to the Carter-paid FISA before they even corroborated it.
That's right. Matt, it's great to get your take on all of this. Thanks very much.